The New York Knicks are in the championship. They are in the Summer League Finals, ladies and gentlemen. Summer League Finals. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing.
Sound.
Yeah, I guess I think that was the intro. I think I accidentally had no sound on the intro. Forgot to turn it on or something. I don't know. They should be able to hear me right now. I'm looking at it. It looks like it's coming through, so they should be able to hear me right now. I must have had sound off on the intro or something like that. But, yeah, man, the Knicks are in Summer League. Andy, what's going on, bro? How you feeling? How you feel about it?
Yo, what up, Sim? What up, Josh?
Summer League Championship.
Happy to be on with someone else besides myself. So I feel a little bit more loose. Yeah, and Sim, like you said, it's a finals game. Let's call it that way. It's a finals game, bro. They can win a ring in my lifetime.
Hey. You know what? I feel like this. You know, it may not be it's not the NBA championship, but you need something positive. You need something positive to rock with, and this is what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
You know what I'm saying? You got, and I know people are gonna laugh. I see Josh like, what are these guys talking about? You know, for me, you got a guy like Quentin Grimes. If he remains a New York Knick, Miles McBride, Jericho Sims, they can. People are gonna say this doesn't mean anything, but I can guarantee you it means something to them. You know what I'm saying? And it means something to them in their development. And, they prove like, hey, I can be successful at a level higher than college. You know what I'm saying? So while people may laugh, it means something to these guys. And it means something to that coach staff that's there as well. And if it means something to them, that means it also means something to the New York Knicks. Uncle Fulio, what's going on?
Salute, Sam. Salute, Andy. Well, first and foremost, I just want to give a big congratulations to Andy for putting this video out there. This series that we're about to start kicking off, International Andy, giving us an update for all the players from NBA Europe, MBK Europe, we'll call it that. So good job, Andy. Appreciate you putting that video out. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more to come. So definitely give Andy his props in the comment section or however you want to do it. And definitely tune in whenever he has those videos coming out. I just want to say, Tim, listen, you're right. It definitely does mean something to those young guys. I think this is a step in the right direction for the organization in general, right? Getting to this level at Summer League. I understand the competition is not the same as the big club. However, I think for those young players in that locker room, they're going to fight and try to bring the championship home. It's something that they can hang their hat on. And I think for the organization in general, the Knicks are developing, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks are developing. These young guys from where they were last year now coming into this year, they're showing that some development is taking place within the organization, whether it be G League, whether it be, a lot of fans don't want to give him credit, but Tom Thibodeau is putting a lot of development into these players. Yes, the Knicks want to win games now, but they're also prioritizing the future, and they understand the future that they have in some of these young guys. So this goes to show you how good the Knicks are doing from that standpoint. And let's get it done. Let's bring home the ring today.
Yeah, man, definitely. Before we even get into the game itself, because the Portland Trailblazers are the only team to beat the Knicks during Summer League, right? So, the Knicks should have some revenge in their blood. But Quentin Grimes is currently the leader in the Summer League MVP ladder, right? So, that's he said he came to Summer League to dominate. So far, he's dominated, if that's what you want to call it, since he's leading in the Summer League MVP ladder. And he also said that the Knicks want to win it all. So if they win it all, they came to Summer League and accomplished some goals, and you can't ask for much more than that. Is to accomplish goals that you set out when you get into something like Summer League. When you look at the 2022 NBA Summer League MVP ladder, and this is from NBA TV, ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Grimes is number 1. Keegan Murray from the Sacramento Kings, number 2. Cam Thomas is number 3 from the Brooklyn Nets. Sandro Mamukelashvili, hopefully I said that correctly, number 4 from the Milwaukee Bucks, and Lindell Wigginton, number 5 from the Milwaukee Bucks. And of course, they got this information from NBA.com, right? But, this graphic is from NBA TV. So before we even get into the game, just talking about Quentin Grimes and his development during this Summer League, How do you feel about it? And if he wins, the Summer League MVP, how does it boost his confidence? Josh, I'll start with you and come over to Andy.
Huge for his confidence. I mean, listen, Quentin Grimes didn't lack confidence even last season when he came out of the gate, just putting up those 3-point shots. There's no lack of confidence issues in Quentin Grimes. So I think him winning MVP and perhaps the Knicks winning the Summer League championship, to me, I guess it's like icing on a cake for me. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league for a long time, not just as a young guy, but a veteran that you can have in rotations. Moving forward, he's that type of guy, and everyone knows about his story at Kansas and then going to Houston in college, and how he had to take a back seat, so to speak. He had to really humble himself, to get back to that level. Played really well at Houston, and that's why the Knicks drafted him. They drafted him at number 25 or whatever it was. And now you're seeing all that hard work that he's put in. I know we had his trainer here on NBK, talking about the hard work that Quentin Grimes put in, and now it's starting to pay off at this level. So I think it's tremendous for Quentin Grimes. I'm really proud of him, and hopefully we can keep him around.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. And hopefully his trainer will be back, after Summer League is over, and talk to us about, Quentin Grimes' development, what he's seen during Summer League, what else he thinks he needs to work on, and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll be looking forward to that maybe sometime next week. If so, it'll be kind of later in the evening, because I'll be in a retreat all week long and my days will be filled. I won't be able to, really step to the mic next week. Unless something happens, then I'm going to, step out of my meetings anyway. I'm going to have that set up and prepared and let them know, like, hey, I'm going to have to do this. But anyway, Andy, Quentin Grimes.
Listen, we saw major steps as far as his game development. We saw him playing more on the dribble, more passing game. The defense was always there, like Josh said. I think it's not like probably he learned all these skills that we didn't see the previous season in this off season. It probably was not used by the coaching staff and Coach Tibbs. But I think, that's what Summer League is about. You show the skills that you can, that you feel confident in, and you're trying to show off those skills that the coach might need you to show in the regular season games. And I think it's a huge step for him. Being just a 3-and-D player, is quite good. You can build a career on it, but having a couple of more stuff in your arsenal is way better. And I think he proved that maybe the passing is not perfect yet, because he literally gets past his man and stuff like that. He could finish off on those shot on those plays, but he's still passing it, right? And I think that also shows maybe more team playing style of basketball, that he's caring about his teammates, mostly about Jericho Sims, as far as I've seen it. But I think that's a big skill for him. And like you said previously, listen, he's currently sitting on the top of the MVP ladder of the Summer League. That's a great thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing for him, man. And he could be moving himself right to Utah, but we'll get to that. Let's look at the last time the New York Knicks and the Portland Trailblazers played, not too long ago, just a few days ago. The New York Knicks jumped out to like 11-0 lead, something like that. And it looked like they were going to blow Portland out the water. Right? And then in the second quarter,
here it comes, y'all. Here it comes.
And then in the second quarter, Richard Jefferson steps on the court. He makes a call for the Knicks. I think his first call of the game. He makes it for the Knicks. And then he reverses the call, and it goes back to Portland. And from that point on, the Portland Trailblazers dominated the game. I'm not blaming it on Richard Jefferson, but I am going to say it was a bad luck charm, because you cannot deny the fact, Uncle Fulio, that from the time that he made that call, it was all downhill for the New York Knicks. It was all downhill from that time. Am I right? Am I right? I mean, Josh, come on. Am I right? It was all down. I mean, the Knicks had, I think, like a 15-point lead when that call was made. Maybe 13 or something like that. The call was made, and from there, the Portland Trailblazers went on a huge run. Bad luck charm. He didn't make bad calls against the Knicks. He was just a bad luck charm.
Sim, if you have a car with a sunroof and you forget to close the sunroof and then it starts raining, are you going to blame the rain, or are you going to blame the fact that you didn't close the sunroof?
I'm going to blame God.
I mean, look. I mean, listen. You're correct, but I don't think Richard Jefferson had any outcome on that basketball game whatsoever. I think, like you spoke about, even though the first thing you brought up was Richard Jefferson, I just think that the Knicks kind of lost their way within that game. They didn't. They were very tentative in that second quarter, and Portland just didn't give up in that particular game. So I don't blame it on Richard Jefferson. Overall, I do think the Knicks.
No,
the Knicks, they just, kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit, playing a little bit.
Actually, I think what happened, I think it was kind of like the bully got stood up to.
Right.
I think it was kind of like that because the Knicks were blowing everybody out. Their defense was crushing people, and it started off the same way against Portland, and then Portland said, no, this is not going to happen to us. And so then they stood up and started playing physical, playing good defense, and then the Knicks were like, wait a minute, I didn't expect this. And it took them a little while. It took the Knicks. The Knicks had to adjust. You know what I mean? And I don't think they adjusted well in that game. They came back against Orlando. They couldn't hold the lead against Orlando, but they responded better when Orlando punched back. See, when Portland punched back, the Knicks didn't respond well. But when Orlando punched back, then the Knicks punched back again. And that's what you look for, when you take a loss. So, how do you respond to the loss? So this is almost a perfect setup for the Knicks, to be honest with you. When you talk about growth and development of the team and the players, right? You have a team knock you down, you come back, you play against the Orlando Magic, who put up a similar fight that the Portland Trailblazers did, and getting down and then coming back, you withstand it, and now you get a chance to play the team that beat you once throughout Summer League. You know what I mean? And I think it's it's like a perfect storm for the Knicks if they can capitalize on it and win. You know what I mean? But it's like a perfect storm to say, hey, this really does show the growth of our players and the growth of, the Summer League team at least, but the growth of the players on the Summer League team. Andy, what's your thoughts? And you can talk about Richard Jefferson too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go only on Richard Jefferson, but not in his aspect. The first couple of plays that I seen Richard Jefferson as the referee, I noticed that he literally didn't blow the whistle. He was like, he was trying to play it safe. Like, I'm not going to be calling bad fouls or whatever. And he was letting the game literally go past. So, and I understand that this is only a summer league. Maybe I'm too, old to trying to be too savvy about it and stuff like that. But maybe the coaching staff or the young players should notice it, that he ain't calling the game. He ain't trying to make bad calls. We can play a little bit more aggressive when he's in our section, right? Because it was clear as day that he wasn't trying to make calls. As far as I seen it, like after 2-3 minutes of that quarter, and I understand it's only like 6 minutes left or 7 minutes left till the end of the quarter. But you could stick someone, hit him in the ribs somewhere here and there, and maybe get that, those because Portland was playing great offense in that quarter. I think they scored like 28 points compared to the Knicks 12, something like that. So you could, not only like stop the bleeding, not only with the timeout or adjustments, but question is if they were even thinking about this, the coaching staff, because this is a summer league game. Not everybody is going to look to get that W on every, chance available as far as the competition in the summer league and with these young guys. I think probably Daisy Yoshimoto said, like, no matter who's going to be, refereeing the game, we're going to play our kind of basketball. And it was just literally, like you said, a bad luck charm. They didn't play well in that quarter. Later in that game, maybe we could play a little bit better. We didn't manage to pull it out. So I'm going to go that way.
Yeah. Looking at the numbers behind that game, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to blow this up to make sure that you can see it clearly. All right. 88-77, the Portland Trailblazers came away with the win, an 11-point win for the Trailblazers. The Knicks were out-rebounded by 19, right? 49 rebounds for the Blazers, 30 for the New York Knicks. I think it was a summer league low in assists for the Knicks at 14, right? 17 assists for the Portland Trailblazers, 10 steals for the Knicks. And they had been getting steals all along throughout summer league. It just wasn't enough in this game because they turned the ball over a little bit more. 12 turnovers. I guess it wasn't. The previous game, they turned the ball over some. But 4 blocks for the Knicks, 5 for the Blazers, 12 turnovers for the Knicks, 18 for the Portland Trailblazers. But the Knicks did have a ton of turnovers in the second half of the game. In the first half of the game, I think they had 4, and they had like 8 in the second half of the game. So a ton of turnovers in the second half for the Knicks. They only shot 38% from the field, 27% from 3, 50% from the free throw line, where Portland shot 48% from the field, 41.7% from 3, and 72% from the free throw line. Points in the paint, Portland won that battle 40-34. They won the battle of second chance points, 10-4. And the fast break points, the Knicks won 11-9. The Knicks were led by Quentin Grimes with 24 points. I think that was his 3rd game in a row with 24 points. The Portland Trailblazers were led by Trendon Watford. Jericho Sims led the Knicks in rebounds with 11. Jabari Walker led the Portland Trailblazers with 13. Keon Johnson led the Blazers in assists with 4. Farron Hunt led the Knicks in assists with 4. Jericho Sims had 3 blocks. And Greg Brown III for the Portland Trailblazers had 3 blocks. That was pretty much the story and graphics, the story and stats of the game, ladies and gentlemen, for the Knicks versus the Portland Trailblazers in that first matchup. I'm expecting the Knicks to come out much better in this matchup, in this game, right? I think they're focused and I think they're determined to try to win the championship. I think that they'll know what to expect over the Portland Trailblazers. I expect them to play better. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, Sam, I think the difference in the basketball game, I know the second half wasn't the best, but the difference in the basketball game is those last few stats that you talked about. The shooting percentages were horrible. 50% from the free throw line, not good at all. Less than 30% from the three-point line, not good. And sub 40% from the field, those are just not good statistics for team statistics if you want to go win a basketball game. I know the game was very, very low scoring, but I think the difference in the ball game is that Portland was able to knock down their shots. And when we couldn't respond to that pressure or quote unquote getting smacked in the face or getting knocked in the face from the little guy, we just weren't able to knock down shots to kind of put that game away. So I think the Knicks will start off the same way they've been starting off every summer league game. I think they'll start off hot, but they just got to be able to weather the storm whenever the team is going to throw their stuff at us, and so we can be able to close the game out and hopefully bring this home.
Yeah, definitely. Andy, any thoughts on just how you think the Knicks may play this game versus the Portland Trailblazers?
Well, I'm expecting, like Josh said, us starting really, really hot and not allowing the Blazers literally to get on the board. Every game we jumped out to almost double-digit lead. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen here. I just hope that even if we are not able to get that lead from the jump, literally from the first possessions, we're not going to get down at least. So it's going to be a competitive game throughout the whole game. Listen, to be true, I really, really hope we're going to get the ring, but I really, really hope that it's going to be a great game and our players, the vets in the summer league, Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride and even Jericho Sims are going to be playing great games so they can show out for Tibbs and for the rest of the Knicks.
Yeah. What kind of games are you looking forward do you want to see from these guys? Like, do you want to see Quentin Grimes dominate? Do you want to see Jericho Sims dominate the glass? What kind of games are you looking forward to seeing from these guys? Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I'm expecting 24 points from Quentin Grimes. that was
Right.
Almost average throughout 3 games. So he was consistent about that, at least.
Yeah.
But to be true, Sim, I'm also wondering if Daisuke Hashimoto is going to go really, really hard for that ring, and if it's possible that he's going to use Quentin Grimes like 35 minutes after, from 40 minutes available on the court. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, because we jump out to a lead and we can afford to sit him and rest him. It's not like this is the NBA championship, but if that's the case, and then that has to be done to get us the ring, you can play him all 40 minutes as far as I see it.
Yeah.
This ring is really important for me.
No, I hear you. It's important for me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I look at the previous game, the lineups were cut a little bit short, right? Because the Knicks wanted to win. They weren't into all this, okay, we're going to let this guy develop and see what this guy has.
Right.
Guys that, probably have no chance in ever even being on your G League team. You know what I'm saying? They weren't interested in that. They were interested in playing the guys that they knew were going to be on the G League team or could possibly be on, the regular team one day or get a 2-way contract or whatever it is. They were playing those guys, and I think they wanted to win. Do you expect, Josh, the lineup to be cut short and be tight?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, traditionally it'll be like that. If the teams don't really have anything to play for, so to speak, in summer league, they'll go out and play their, the end of the bench guys from the summer league roster, give them some shot, some burn or what have you. But I think this is really different today, particularly if you look at the last game, what they did, and typically the game 4 or the last game of the summer league season, you'll see a lot of those guys get some minutes. But because the Knicks are playing for this, I think they realize how big this is for the returning guys. It's the Sims, the Grimes, the McBride, the Keels, and the Farron Hunt. And I think they're going to try to ride that. And I think there'll be more than a lot of opportunities for a lot of these other guys at the end of the rosters to play, whether it be in G League or whether it be just in training camp or what have you. I think there's going to be opportunities for them to play there. Just because they don't play today, it's not going to be the end all be all for them. So I think the Knicks are going to definitely go hard, use try to get that summer league ring and bring it home.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's get to, and we're going to get to some phone calls shortly. Quentin Grimes, right? There's tons of rumors about him being in the Utah Jazz trade, or the Utah Jazz are really interested in Quentin Grimes. Do you think that Quentin Grimes is holding up the trade? And when I say holding up the trade, the trade for Donovan Mitchell, I don't mean because the Knicks don't want to give up Quentin Grimes or anything like that. And I'm not saying that they do. All I'm saying is, do you think he's holding up the trade because he's still playing in Summer League? And after Summer League, maybe now you see a little bit more movement?
No, absolutely not. I think if Quentin Grimes was really gone in that trade, or if the Knicks had some headway with that trade, I think they'll just sit Quentin Grimes. Simple. That's a simple fix. I think you sit Quentin Grimes. I think this little Summer League championship that the Knicks have is pennies compared to what the organizational impact would be if you land someone like Donovan Mitchell. And I think the front office realizes that. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Quentin Grimes is holding this trade up at all. I think Utah should be interested in a player like Quentin Grimes. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But I think if that was really the case, I think Quentin Grimes wouldn't be playing in Summer League. The Knicks will go ahead and play this game without him and, do everything they can to land Donovan Mitchell if it's going to cost Quentin Grimes.
Right. And my question is really kind of twofold. Do you think maybe, the Utah Jazz want to see how Quentin Grimes performs, through, they've seen what he's done throughout Summer League. They want to see what he does now in the championship. And then, of course, the Knicks have him there in the championship. I don't think that the Knicks would stop a trade for a Summer League championship. I don't know. Andy, what do you think?
Well, I don't think he's a deal breaker as far as for a guy that's the stature of Donovan Mitchell. I think that would be kind of a stupid thing to do. Though in my trade proposal, I'm keeping Quentin Grimes on the Knicks. So yeah.
Right, but is Utah accepting that trade proposal?
Listen, Sim, to be true, bro, I think that there's no leverage, maybe even more leverage on the Knicks side than on the Jazz. Because if Donovan Mitchell is going to tell the Jazz, front office that, listen, I'm not, really, really happy and I don't want to start the season. And I think that it's really easy for him to sneak that info to the Knicks front office, through whoever he wants, quickly, whoever, right? He can probably call up straight up, Leon Rose and tell him, listen, I'm going to tell the Jazz I don't want to start the season with them. I think that might play in favor for the Knicks. The other situation could be that we're waiting till the deadline to get some other team involved, and that would probably benefit more the Jazz than the Knicks. But that can be also the situation.
It could be. But I don't think the Jazz. I actually don't think that they want to go into the season with Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? I think that they want to get this done, get it over with, move on from Donovan Mitchell. And people say that they want to tank. Start tanking if that's what they want to do. You know what I mean? But I think they want to get it over with. I don't think they want to play games with it, messing around, staying around until, the trade deadline. I know if it were me, I'd want to, if it's going to happen, let's get it done so we can move forward and get started with whatever process that we're planning on getting started with. I actually think that it's just a big negotiating process right now. I don't even know we don't even hear about them paying attention to any other teams right now. It's almost like it's just them and the Knicks negotiating and trying to figure out the best package. Let me get to a phone call real quick, all right? And then we'll get back to talk some more Knicks Portland, Donovan Mitchell, et cetera, et cetera. Caller, you live. Tell me the movie you're from, please.
Salute, 3 capital S's. Blessings and health and safety to everybody on this beautiful, gorgeous Sunday. I hope it's sun shining wherever you're at. If the sun is not shining, do yourself a favor and look in the mirror and look and see how beautiful you are as a person. First thing first, let me get on this Donovan Mitchell thing. When they first was telling him that we're not going to trade him and everything, and then it got reported to come back that now, we're looking to take, calls and, see what type of trades you can come up for, Donovan should have went straight to Danny Ainge and said, look, on the low, you're going behind the door. You're acting like you want to trade me. So I'm going to be quiet and be a cool person as I am, because I'm not an off-court person that get in trouble. So real quietly, I like to move up out of here. Trade me to the Knicks. That's what I would have liked to have Donovan do. Tell them people, you want up out of there. You don't want to be there no longer. Go ahead and get your tank on and get your number 1 pick, because everybody knows that when Cleveland got rid of LeBron, they got the number 1 pick. Then when New Orleans got rid of Anthony Davis, they got the number 1 pick. So therefore, let the Utah Jazz go ahead and get rid of all their all-stars and go ahead and get your number 1 pick, Danny, and move on. But what I need is Donovan to get to the Garden, win the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you, it's to aim with you. Y'all remember that line? Let's reverse the Michael Jordan line into a Donovan Mitchell line, you know what I'm saying? But it's big payback today at 3 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? 3 hours after the 12 noon, ding, 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 3 o'clock is the payback. Yeah, they caught us slipping a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Caught us on tired legs, but you know what I'm saying? They had fresh legs and they did what they had to do. They ran us to death, you know what I'm saying, in the second half. That's cool and collected. But today, we're going to slow this game down. Only time we're going to run is when we make steals. So, we're going to be on lockdown since account like the yard, 23-1. Only time we run when we get steals. But in half-court game today, we're going to slow it down and see if they can play without running up and down the court. You know what I'm saying? But I want this championship today. This championship today and a Donovan coming to New York, you know what I'm saying? That's going to solidify our whole summer, our whole offseason. To tell everybody in the league, watch out. We had the best off summer. No, we ain't get no first-round draft pick. Yeah, we win the championship. Yeah, we don't went to the game game and watch Dallas and watch Utah. Oh, Leon Rose was playing a big boy move. Yeah, we weren't just going to see Jalen Brunson. We was going to see both of them. Bring both of them over here into the Garden. Let them suit up back to back. You know what I'm saying? We're in the 450, 4,511. Yeah, that's 45 and that's number 11. He got the old Rod Strickland number. Think I don't know, but as a matter of fact, happy birthday to Rod Strickland. He had a birthday this week. But blessings to everybody, man. Let's get tuned in and get this championship. You know what I'm saying? And even if we don't get it, we still had a great summer league. You know that Richard Jefferson was running up and down the court hating on us with his face all mascaded up. I ain't know. I thought he used Magic Shade, but he didn't find out you using Manscaped on your face, looking all slick and smooth and clean. You know what I'm saying? But God blessings and health and safety to everybody, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Andy, I like the show you put out. I need more work of you, Andy. I need more work of you. Go ahead, man. We love you as you know what I'm saying, as a fan. We appreciate your work and your say so. It continue. It counts too. And you know, Julio, that's my youngest uncle right there. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to you. And Sim, that's my man right there. Keep doing what you're doing. Even though you ain't get back to me about that Nas thing. But wait, hold up a minute. Lloyd Banks ain't playing. Lloyd Banks is not playing. You need to look at that. I don't listen to that album 15 times, and I'm probably gonna listen to it to get me motivated to watch the game today. Blessings and blessings. Everybody stay healthy and safety on this beautiful Sunday. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S. Let's get this championship, Summer League. Let's go.
Peace. J Boogie, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only J Boogie in the building. You know what I mean? The one and only. Back to this game. Is anything else about the game? And shout out to J Boogie, man. J Boogie's the only one that could do it like that. Anything about this game? Anything else stand out about the game?
Miles McBride. I'm interested to see how Miles McBride is going to play. He's been, I've seen a lot of good things from him. Don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of good things from him. In the times where Quentin Grimes isn't necessarily playing his best basketball, Miles McBride has definitely stepped up, knocked down some shots. With the exception of that last Portland game, I felt like, he just didn't have his foot on the gas as much as I would like him to. So I'm looking for Miles McBride to really come out and solidify and say, I'm going to be a part of this Knicks roster moving forward. I'm going to be a part of this Knicks roster. And although you may not see me in the rotation early on, there is going to be a spot for me in that rotation moving forward, barring injuries or whatever, what have you. But I think Miles McBride really needs to step out and have himself a ball game today.
Yeah, Andy. Anything else that kind of stands out to you about this game?
Well, I'm expecting from Deuce. I'm expecting him to be playing, one of the floor general things that he's going to show that he was in the NBA last season. Because you can clearly see that the guys in Sims, McBride, Grimes, even a little bit Farron Hunt, they stand out of this team. Even Keels, you can see that he's a step back, a drop off of the four guys that I mentioned before. Even the guys that come off the bench for the Knicks Summer League team, you can see they lack something. They're not in the same pace, in the same, quality players that the 4 top main guys on that roster are. And I hope that they're going to take that into account and they're going to say, listen, we have to get this ring for this team. And, every addition of the bench is going to be great, but I'm expecting these guys to stand out and get this W for the Knicks.
Yeah. I want to see Jericho Sims dominate inside. I do. I think in the last game, what he have 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. I want to see a duplication of that. I want to see him dominate inside. I want to see the Knicks. This is going to be their 5th Summer League game, right? I want to see them over these 5 games. Well, the 4 games that they played, take what they know worked. Obviously, defense, putting pressure on the ball, making space for Quentin Grimes to be able to go to work and score the basketball, keeping the ball moving around the perimeter, knocking down threes. I mean, they haven't shot that well from 3, but knocking down threes when they're available, using their defense to create, fast break opportunities. I want to see them really hone in on those things and not. I don't want to see them try anything new. I want to see them go ahead and try to win the championship without trying anything new, hone in on the things that they did well, and, take Portland out. You know, and we know Portland is going to fight. It's not going to be that easy, you know, where they just take Portland out and that's it. You know, Portland is going to fight. But that's what I would like to try to do. See them really hone in on things that they've done well and then use it to their advantage during the game. You know, let me get to a phone call here. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please. Well, he was on there. Then I guess he hung up. Sometimes we got to be patient. Caller, you there? Guess not. I guess not. Guess it's not there. The game is at 3 p.m. on ESPN, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And is this the first game of the day?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, first game of the day. You know, I seen some people, I think it was Ebro, diehard Knicks, you know, was like, why they do it first game of the day? But you know, it happens that way because it happens that way a lot because when you play summer tournament basketball, a lot of times once your team is eliminated, people go home. Fans go home. At least when you're playing in like the AAU level, right? Fans go home, parents go home, and stuff like that. You know, so a lot of times that championship game is played early, and then all the consolation games are played afterwards, so that those fans stick around, or they're just coming to the game, right? They're just getting there to the game to play their game, so they're there. I've seen a few times when there's been like championship games, and they're the last game of the night, and it's not people there because everybody said, I don't care about the championship game. I'm not in it, so I'm going home. You know what I mean? And, of course, this is summer league, so it could be a little bit different, you know, but it still seems to be that most players from the other teams are going to be like, I'm not sticking around to watch the Blazers and Knicks. I'm going back to my hotel. I'm going to get, start packing up so I can get ready to go do whatever is the next phase of their summer. You know what I mean?
I'm going to the blackjack table.
Yeah, something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, when you have the championship game first, people are at the arena preparing for their games, and people get there early to do whatever it is that they're going to do. So, you get the crowd. And that's probably why they chose to have the game early. You know what I mean? Let me get you a phone call. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
From North Carolina.
And your name?
Hey, Miller.
Miller, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's been a long time. We ain't compete for nothing, man. So, yeah, I'm on this one.
Yeah, man. Long time. How are you going to feel if the Knicks win?
I'll probably jump out the roof. Jump out the roof, man. I've been a Knicks fan from the 80s, man. And this is the long time I've been happy about something, man. For real.
Yeah.
So go Knicks and go Knicks. And
so
yeah, I'm on it.
If the Knicks win this championship today, your Summer League championship, what do you think it means? Like, what are you taking from it?
If they win, then it's a big improvement for what we're doing right now. For all the front office, Leon Rose, everybody, it shows improvement from where we're coming from the Ewan era, from the Skywalker, from all of them. It shows a lot. It shows a lot. So, yeah, for we to be competing today for something, yes. No cooking, no nothing. I'm right in front of my TV, counting down. That's all I'm doing.
I hear you.
I
hear you. And if the Knicks don't win, do you take anything from that?
Well, I'm happy because the position that we're in shows a lot of growth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of growth. The young players, Deuce, Quentin Grimes, Jericho, they're all there. And they show what Tom Thibodeau didn't want to play last year. So that's what it is. They're showing what Tom didn't want to do.
Right.
So, yeah, improvement.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, hey, I'm going to be right there with you, sitting there watching the game, and hoping that the Knicks come away with this win today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go Knicks, man.
No
Appreciate
doubt. I
call.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Peace. Yeah. I think that's it for me, man. I'm going to, well, maybe not. Let's see. We got another phone call. Let's see if we got him on there. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please. Hello? Caller. guess no answer from the call. All right. Caller, you there? Oh, well. I guess we missed out on that. Anyway, I'm going to head out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get on and do a post-game show. You know what I mean? It's going to be hit or miss for me. I got some things that I got to take care of, so it's going to be hit or miss. If not, then, maybe I do one later tonight, when I get a chance. I don't know. I guess I'll see how that goes down. Any last words, Andy?
Sim, in Europe, we have a tradition that you welcome the champions. Mm-hmm. So I hope Knicks fans, if we win this ring, you're going to be waiting on LaGuardia Airport for the next Summer League championship team. Yeah. Show them the support. I don't know if they're going to throw a parade in New York, but yeah, jokes aside, Sim, like I said before, this game is really important. I think it's going to show that the Knicks are building in the right direction. And like I said, it might be not the main regular season NBA ring, but it's going to be the first ring the Knicks are going to get in my lifetime, so I'm going to be happy about it.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be the first one. I mean, I've got to see him be in the championship twice, right? But if they win it, it'll be the first ring that they get. They'll probably put a banner up in the Westchester facility or something like that. Maybe not at the Garden, but in the Westchester facility. Put up a banner.
Knicks fans are going to put up banners on Twitter.
On Twitter, sure. Yeah. You know that for sure. Josh, any last words?
Yeah, I mean, I won't go that far. I don't think there'll be any type of banner put up or anything like that. But definitely on Knicks Twitter, people are going to be talking about this like, Knicks, won something, of extreme significance when it comes to the Knicks. So definitely we're going to be on the lookout for that. I do want to respond to Craig in the chat. He's always in the chat trolling. But he's like, where's RJ? How come RJ is not there? RJ is playing for Team Canada right now, right? Am I right? Am I correct about that?
Yeah. He's practicing with Team Canada right now. Yeah.
Right. So, just pay attention, understand what's going on. Summer League I'm sure RJ's paying attention from afar. I think RJ definitely these guys have the support of RJ. So I don't think there's any smoke there, Craig. So just pay attention to that. Listen, the Knicks are going to come out. They're going to play hard today. Hopefully we're able to bring this home, but I expect Quentin Grimes to come out and dominate like he's been doing for the entire Summer League. So it'll be a twofold. I want to see the Knicks bring home the championship first and foremost, but I want to see Quentin Grimes go out and get his Summer League MVP because he's been playing like an MVP in this Summer League team. So good luck, Knicks, and let's bring it home.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me see. Who is that? Daji Graybeard says, Sim, we need NBK Summer League championship shirts. Hey, you know what? We might do that if they win the championship. Then Visual said, history is in the making, the greatest Summer League championship. It might be the greatest Knicks Summer League team of all time.
Summer League team. If I'm correct, Nate Robinson has his jersey retired in Vegas.
For real?
Yeah, I think so. Wow. So I'm pretty much certain about it. So maybe Quentin Grimes is going to get on that.
Maybe. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if I am able to get on, I'll get on. I can guarantee you if I do, it would be really, really short, 30 minutes tops. So I guess we'll see after the game. But anyway, enjoy the game, enjoy the championship game, and I'll talk to you later, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
That came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.